And now, from Grid Square Echo Mike 48, this is 100 Watts and a Wire.
Hello, 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 hello. We're doing it. Oh, I got an echo. Where's my echo coming from? How you doing? It's Saturday. And I think what I need to do here is make sure all of the volume is down. I see. What we're going to need to do is this. Okay. Is that going to help? I don't know. We're going to have to go over to this camera. I'm getting a little bit of echo here. I hope everybody's doing well. And I got to figure that out. I think I can figure it out. See, this is live, man. Let's do it. Worst case, I'll take that off. I'm going to take that off. That's freaking me out. It's right here. Just pardon me. See, this is the live thing of this, and I've been outside. Hold on. Let's do this. And you're welcome to, let's see, if I can turn this down, we may be okay. Okay. We may have to adjust that here in a minute. Okay, I think I got rid of the echo. No, I don't. I still have the echo. I'm just going to kill the camera. Literally kill the camera. All right. So what's going on with you? Man, I was outside. We're going to kill the whole thing. Watch this. Now, people who may be listening, to the show at some point. Coffee break, everybody. I've been outside cutting grass, and I'm totally a little filled up. Welcome, everybody who came by. What's going on, Peter? Yeah, there's an wackiness happening on this phone. I tried to mix in a second camera today, but I'll do that for you later. And for now, we'll just get on with it. But I wanted to connect with you here to talk about the fallout. We have 48 degrees here. And if it's your first time at the channel, usually the takeoff, sometimes you get takeoff, it's a little bumpy, a little turbulent on the plane, a little turbulent today, as I wanted to bring you a camera on my rig back here. But we'll do that at a different time. For some reason, the volume would not go off. And I'm getting a little bit of an echo, so I don't want to deal with that. Good morning to you, Tony. Let's say hello to the people who are. Look at this. I'm going to get some. Turn off the microphone on the phone. Thank you, Peter. All this is wonderful, except I'm doing it live right now, which is, I don't want to make anybody mad. What's going on with you, Tony? Hello, Tony. Says it sounds okay. This microphone should be fine. I wanted to put the camera. And I had a shot set up here, and we'll worry about that next time because I think I may add a camera for the net. And it was muted on there, but for some reason it was still pushing through. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. But if it's your first time to the channel, welcome. We started doing this a couple of weeks ago now. And, a few hundred people have joined us, and I appreciate that. And others are listening still with audio. I won't abandon the audio podcast. This will just be another way to actually see the show. So if you're watching on Facebook, welcome. If you're watching on YouTube, welcome to you as well. We have a big operating event. Like I said, it's 48 degrees here. It's probably creeping up a little bit more as we head toward noon. But I got up and cut some grass and did some work outside. It was a little chill. Nose was running. Like, what's all this about? Usually we have a few days where we can ease into winter. Who knows if what we'll get here in this part of Missouri. We're about 25 miles north of the city of St. Louis. And good morning to you, Stephen. KC3AZT in Philadelphia, a longtime friend of ours, and checks into our net almost weekly. So it's good to have you here. Just want to take a little bit of time to talk about what's going to be happening here on October the 9th through the 11th. It's got to be our 4th year. It's the 5th year for the audio podcast. And I believe the 4th year for this year's operating events. If you go to 100wattsandawire.com and click our operating events page, you'll find it there. I think it's a little special this year because we're going to be giving out basically a complete QRP station, and it's just happenstance that this happened this way this year. And I have a radio I've been playing around with, the Xiegu radio. We're going to give it away. It's a bit out of reach for me right now, but it's over on the workbench. And so if you will, look at October 9th through the 11th on your calendar. You don't have to get out and get portable, but I do encourage that for you. It's, getting out, it's a whole different beast. You learn something new every time you get out into the field. Here in this part of America's heartland, it could be one of the final chances, unless you're a diehard. And speaking of diehard, there's an old friend right there, our friend Julian. Good to see you, brother. Oscar Hotel 8 Sierra Tango November. If you haven't checked out Julian, he's the guy when it goes down. That's who I want to connect with, because then I think we'll be okay. He's out there actually doing it. And 48th, that's summer here. I know he's in Norway. Good to see you, Julian. Thanks for stopping by. Check out his channel as well, because he's out there doing it. And this is the kind of thing that he would enjoy, but he's doing it normally anyway. But we try to gather our community to get out and get active, exercise your equipment, and get on the air, make some contacts. It all grew out of field day frustrations for me 4 or 5 years ago when I went out there with my 100-watt rig. Maybe I was putting out 85 watts, depending on whatever the antenna system was giving me. And, I kind of got pushed. I love field day. Got pushed aside by some of the bigger stations. So I ended up, couldn't park and bark as much. But I kind of would wait out, and I figured, it'd be cool to level the playing field just a little bit if we could. And get 100-watt stations or less, whatever you want to do. You can actually do this operating event from the comfort of your shack like this. And I do that. If it's heavy downpour and rain, field day's different. I'll try to keep going in the rain. Even winter field day in the snow. I just don't play with lightning. If that comes around, we don't do that. And many diehards get out there and they do it in whatever weather, whatever time of year. For most of us, this could symbolize the fact that we may be heading in for winter and getting our indoor shacks together, working on the cable organization like I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. We set this time aside in the fall, October the 9th through the 11th. And everybody's welcome to join inside or outside. Encourage you to get outside, but check out this little system. And since Julian's here, he can attest to the fact that this little radio is super impressive. And based on this is funny that this is all happening now. I'm so glad to actually see him. Let me see. We'll put this up there. Good. All right, there's Julian. Julian has done a series on the Xiegu radio. And it's small. I mean, I don't have huge hands, but it'll actually fit. It's just a little bit bigger. I mean, this thing is small. This is like taking anything, something small, a little battery with you, 20 watts it'll put out. It's kind of that in-between radio from the QRP 5 watts and the high-powered station, somewhere right in the middle there. And based on his test, he's done a series of tests. He likes it over the long term. I've watched his videos on that. And I was able to play with that radio this week. But if you scroll down, go to the website and look at this, it just sort of comes together this way. And the last element was the coax. I went to ABR Industries and asked for 50 feet of coax, and it completed the kit. And we'll talk about what we need to do here to qualify. There's a Bio-NO battery. They're a sponsor of ours. PowerFilm Solar. They've been with us for a long time. They're kind of in and out, always with our special events. But we've been running with them for a while. Courtesy of MFJ, they are going to give away the Xiegu, the G90. which is an interesting little radio, and it sounds really good too. I haven't made a contact with it, but today it's pretty nice here. I may go out and take my girls out into the field and set something up. And LDG, because this radio has a tuner in it, we can, they've decided to give an end-fed long wire antenna kit, and they're in making balance 9-to-1 and a 1-to-1 unin. So if you look at this way, you've got the rig, you've got the antenna, you've got a way to power your battery, you've got the battery, and you've got 50 feet of coax. And it just sort of turned out that way. Let's see who else is here. It looks like we got Edwin. What's going on with you? Saying hello. Only wet weather is a bit harder. Field day is every day. He likes to get up in the soda activations. Thanks for joining me. I have the radio on. I can bring it in here. There's the guy in the park, and what you're hearing humming behind me is my amplifier. It's not the quiet. I know some people will put it in a closet, but mine's racked up. I like rack gear. I'm a podcast guy, so I like racks. But this brother's been on for a while. I've had him on. I had my rig camera aimed at this. I was going to bring it in and show it to you, but you can kind of see it back there. Frequency 7225 right now. It's a park. A lot of park-to-parks working this guy too, so I've got the feeling that getting out and getting portable today would be a good idea to be able to test the antenna system. I'd probably go with a link dipole today. Let's see here. We got Patrick. Operating in storms is fun. Sounds facetious. Field Day 2014 comes to mind. Martha's Vineyard. That's a beautiful place. I was there when I was a much younger man. Good to see you there, Patrick. Thanks for popping in. And I don't know. Let's see who's got. Being out here in the middle of the country, we can hear a lot. See, he didn't hear this guy. Listen to him call. Okay. Well, if you're near a radio now, you can call this brother right now. He's at
November 9, Lima Golf Trot Papa, UR59 in West Virginia. Our park number is...
He's in West Virginia. Okay, cool. We'll bring him back out now. It's a random drawing for this. So what you need to do is you set aside the time. You can operate any band, any mode, any time during those days, October 9th through the 11th. We use UTC time. So technically, say you're in the central time zone, you can start operating at 7 p.m. on Thursday evening, because that's technically Friday morning UTC. And it will run all the way up till our net on Sunday at 7 o'clock Central Time. I would love for you to work at least 25 contacts. And you're saying, see, child, I don't know, man, getting out there, and you can do it. You can do it. And I've put a few bonus stations together. Now, I don't know how much Julian works. I know he likes to work the digital modes, but if he's out there, I'd make him a bonus station, and they're worth 5 points. You could see a list. It's me, N2RJ, KD2GUT from Amateur Radio Newsline, W7UDI. Of course, you know Steve from Ham Nation and from 100 Watts and a Wire, Net Control, Kilo India 9 Whiskey, my good friend up in Chicago area, and KC3TOM, who said, I'll do it. I won last time. How about I be a bonus station? He plans on going out and activating. He also has a YouTube channel you may want to check out if you like portable operations. He likes to go out and hike. KC3TOM. And, a regular contact, say somebody who isn't a 100-watt ID card holder or ID number holder, just one point. If you work a 100 ID, that's cool. You can ask them. Many people won't have them, although we have a few thousand out there right now that are active, and we'll share them. They're worth 2 points. Bonus stations will be worth 5. Anything else here I want to add to you? Let's put that up there. This would look nice. Oops, I messed around my PC. And then I can take this out, and you don't have to look at that. Did that say HF Net? Why would I have the HF Net one on there? Okay. Well, welcome if you're just joining the stream. This is all new for me. Usually we record the show in audio. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? Here's Kirk. What's going on, Kirk? Good to see you here. He's in the tree stand. Uh-oh. Season must be starting soon. Got his archery out. Okay. Good to see you, WW9KOA. And, okay. Yeah, look at this. Now we got another big gun here. Julian says he can do it. Now, he works the digital modes. We have to talk to him about, and you can too. You can work any band, any mode, anytime. Many people say, I got to work. I can't do it. Damn this work. Very happy now. We're in a worldwide pandemic to be earning and making money. You keep making that money and you earn, you work. You keep working. But when you sit down and you get near a radio, just know anytime, any band, any mode during those days you can operate and it would all count. We use an honor system. Okay. And a random drawing with 25 contacts will put you in that random drawing. One winner, and the brands and the people who are sponsoring these giveaways will directly send these to you. I just provide the name, so I'm not handling it. But coming up, we'll talk about that radio. And if it was a little closer, I'd show it to you. I just feel that if I stand up here, you may see too much because I'm not telling you my working operations here. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, David. That's right. Contact with Julian should be a 10-pointer. He's far, far away, but you got to check him out. Check out the work that he does. I appreciate what he does. For that. So that's what's going on with the 100 Watts in a Wire Fallout. Check it out at 100wattsinawire.com to learn more, but it's a complete system. I'm very proud of that. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat. If you don't see your name popping up, StreamYard, which is an incredible platform that I'm using, it's not the easiest thing the platform is easy. For me, it's not as easy as radio where I'm just animated and I'm looking all over the place. I actually have to hit some buttons to make things happen, but it's a wonderful platform. But when you put your name in and you don't give them access to your name and your profile picture, you may not come up. So put your name and your call sign, and we'll check in with you. Edwin, he wants to let's see what Edwin has to say here. All right, he wants to give away some points too. You can put your questions in the chat if you would like. If you've participated in the 100 Watts in a Wire Fallout, by all means, you can talk about it there, but I do encourage you to get out and get portable if you can. Not everybody is in a position to have a portable radio station, and I totally get that. It takes a while to get all the pieces. You could be mobile. Maybe you've got a mobile application. I don't care if you work on 2 meters and an HT. And what do you do? Some people say, what do we do? Like, how does this work? Do we call CQ? I'd call CQ Fallout. You just have to kind of understand what you're doing. That way, when people come back to you and they're asking about this special event, which it's not technically a special event, it's not a contest. It's an activity. It's an activity that ranges over that weekend, and we do one in the spring. But you teach people about our community, and you say, look, we do a Fallout. We try to get outside. It could be the last hurrah, depending on where you live. If you're here in the States, if you're in Florida, you might be out all the time. If you're used to operating like Winter Field Day and all that sort of stuff, it just depends. It's a good chance for us to get out and get portable. And for me, I like to kind of level the playing field and do it in a spot where it's not as, maybe people are on the bands, but you're not competing with the big guns on, say, Field Day. I don't mind competing on Field Day. It's harder to hold a frequency out here, with low power against a 1500 watt station. So I end up going on Field Day and I just spin the dial. I go down 20, contact. And what I do, I play a different game on Field Day. I try to work the states. If there's DX out there, great. I'll try to do that as well. But I end up going down 20, switch over the link dipole to 40 meters and go down the band. I don't tend to work a state more than once. It's not a contest to me. I'm testing that antenna. That's really what I want to do when I'm out there in the field. It's all about the antenna and the system. It's where am I getting on this particular day. It's the same when I put myself out there. Oh, let me take you off there. When you were just hogging up the space, brother. You were hogging up the space. Thank you for the kind words, Julian. I'm glad you can hear it and see it okay. This is a way to get us into the shack. You can come right into my studio here. And now you can see the show. You know, many people talk about, there was a little bit of on the fence about the whole YouTube thing. Frankly, I feel like I got out of the gate late. I mean, there's so many people that were doing it and they were out there. I'm like, that's great. There's room enough for everybody. Everybody's doing something different. And I was comfortable with the audio podcast, and a lot of people, the feedback was coming back. Like, we like to take it with us. I was listening to something today as I was cutting the grass. People like to travel. They listen to, so I'm not taking it away, but I do believe that this is a great platform. And during the pandemic, I think viewing, certainly for me, I don't know if I'm a YouTube addict, but I will listen to the reason I found the Zygu radio, and I took it out of the box. I needed someone to teach me about it. When I need to go and learn things, that's how I use YouTube a lot. If I want to buy something, whether it's lights for in here on the studio or the platform that I'm using, that's what I go to YouTube for. But I think a lot of people have been watching for a long time, but especially during the pandemic, people are getting into other things. They're learning how to improve their lives or their homes through YouTube. All right, what other good news do we have going on here? Let's see here. We got Tony. What's going on with you, Tony? Not much going on. DM02. Where is that? Where is that, Tony? I don't know all my... I know mine. I don't know everybody else's. And he says he may try to get on and get out on 20 meters. When the weather breaks like it is today, I really want to get out. So I'll feed my girls. We'll get our lunch going here in just a little bit. And Mama Bear will be out. She'll be teaching today. And we'll get outside and we'll play. And I'll put up an antenna and see where it goes. If you have questions or comments, you can certainly put those in there. And here's another cool feature. Check this out. You can roll something like this to let you know about tomorrow night's HF Net. And that's why I'm a little bummed out. I got a camera. I got a second. I guess I actually have a phone that I can show you close up of the rig. But we are, of course, audio wise. We can go back in. Let's see if this brother's, if he's working here.
Roger, roger. All right, thanks for stopping by. And this is Kilowatt 8 Delta Foxtrot at Park Kilo 69907 Center Branch Wildlife in West Virginia. Yours at Park to Park.
So these park to parks, these guys have been calling him for a long time now. I'm kind of gathering there's several others out there on the bands today. I want to make sure this isn't too loud for you. If this sounds a little loud to you, let me know.
CQ, Kilowatt 8 Delta,
Go ahead and work him.
Center
Can you
Branch
work him? Work
Wildlife,
this guy.
Park Kilo 69907 QRZ.
So it's 7225.
Oscar 4, Oscar uniform. Okay, the 8.
A lot of parks out there. But I feel like maybe I'll go out and get set up today and try something out. Okay, you're in San Clemente Island. Very cool. All right, good. I'm not going to take up too much of your time today, but I did want to talk about the fallout, where it kind of comes from, what we're going to give away. Again, it all stems out of a field day, the competition, maybe trying to level the playing field. We do one in spring too. And it's called the tune-up, and it's a couple of weeks before field day. And I like that one because, if you're part of a club, you may be assigned or you may have to sign up to work certain operating hours. Maybe you're working the potato gun, boom, and you put up the antennas. But maybe you've been really working on a cool wire antenna that you wanted to test on your own. That's a good time to get out in the field, kind of do your thing and away from all of the nuttiness of field day, which is a glorious, glorious thing. Let's see. What are you talking about here now, Patrick? Great for instructions. Also a great way to see and experience things you normally couldn't. Okay. It's true. Patrick's a ham. He's got the Travel Channel. Good stuff on his channel as well. Go check out Patrick there. And last thing I was watching, he was in a helicopter in New York City. He was in Disney. All kinds of good stuff. Let's see. Hello to Kirk this morning. Kirk, Tony. We got some other things. Julian, I think, still hanging out here. Okay. Yeah, the Camellia makes some really great products. I have a magnetic loop. Guys, keep me posted if this the radio audio's too much behind us here. Chameleon, I believe they are now located, at least manufacturing, out of Las Vegas. You don't see Chameleon out at ham radio shows like, Dayton. They spend a lot of the time, instead of putting in, it costs a lot of money to travel to these shows and go around, put yourself up, get yourself a stand, spend the time talking to people, trying to sell things. And several companies don't do that. They don't go. They spend that time manufacturing, and they keep doing it. Chameleon, I have a magnetic loop that I haven't used in a while, but it's really well made. So yeah, and I like the way they put things together. It's good. We've actually used them in the past for giveaways for this sort of thing. So we still scrolling our message. You make sure you join us tomorrow. Join us tomorrow night, 7:00 Central, for our HFNet. And if you're listening to this show on audio, some of this will make a little more. I got to get used to now, because I'm thinking that this has a camera in front of me. I got to remember the audio portion and that audience. So I need to read things off for them as well, so they're not lost in the sauce over here. Because frankly, the audio side has been going for 5 years. We won't abandon it. I just have to adapt to the television screen of things. All right, let's take that off. What else can I show you here that is cool? I can tell you this. Like I can encourage you to do this. Yes. Subscribe. Go and subscribe. I'm not going to eat too much more of your day. I'm going to actually get ready to get out of here. Any more questions here? There's a comment coming in. Let's see. Okay, cool. Thank you, Julian. Yeah, and I'll hang out here for a bit. My girls, on Saturday, they'll end up eating a late breakfast. And so lunch falls a little bit later. It's not your traditional noon time like we're doing with homeschooling. How's everybody doing with the COVID and staying at home? I know it's tough for a lot of parents of young children with homeschooling. It's a lot different. And I got a good friend of mine. She was struggling with it because I'm going to take this guy out, because she was trying to imitate what a regular school would be like under, within a homeschool. But homeschoolers, they break away from that structure of say, an institutional or public education. They break away and they do things differently. So there was a lot of stress that came with this change during this time, but I hope everybody's dealing okay with it. We're doing fine out here in the country. We're north of the city. And what else did I want to talk to you about? Questions here about I would check out ABR Industries. We're going to get a 50-foot assembly. It's called the ABR 240 Ultraflex. It's coax. And you can't beat it. I think a lot of you by now know about Bioenno Power. I've used them for several years now. I think the oldest battery I have is from 2016. Oops. You don't give it any love. You got to touch the screen, it'll go away on you. Power Film Solar, military grade stuff. And these things, I get it. And this is probably an extra point I need to make here, that this stuff isn't cheap. Bioenno batteries, I know it is cheaper to buy yourself a car battery or a golf cart battery and lug it. You can buy for $100 a battery that'll hurt your back as you pull it, and you're definitely not going to take it. But I've done it. I've done it too. That's another thing, is that I've done it. I got myself a big, large car type battery, and you're pulling it around on a cart. You're doing all these things, and it's perfectly fine to do that. And my thing with sponsors of the show is that, I want to be able to use the equipment and believe in the equipment, or I don't. I'm not going to put it out there to the audience if it's not something I'm not using. But the Bioenno Power, it's worth saving up for. Take a look at it. This 9 amp hour battery may be worth a couple $100 with the charger. Yeah, for a 9 amp hour battery, I have one over here on this side, and they're small. You know, they fit in your pants pocket. They might pull your pants down a little bit, but hey, keep it exciting and fresh. But yeah, it does come with a cost. So the fact that we're giving one away, that's a good bonus. But save up for it because you get a lot of long life out of it, and it's so much lighter and won't hurt your back. PowerFilm Solar, check them out online. I found them, and here they are shooting it with a gun, hooking it back up, testing it. It's military tested, military grade, if you will. Not cheap for your average ham. I know. Again, that's what makes it special to give one away here, and it's worth saving up for the power. And I know if you've tried one, you'd back me up on that. It's a great product. The little radio, I was surprised at the audio that comes out of this little radio. And we'll do another stream here soon, maybe even tomorrow. It depends. I kind of like this. I'm having fun with it. It reminds me of my radio days being live and doing a live show. The Xiegu G90, really interesting radio. It sounds really good for such a small. I mean, it is not this wide. Another one to fit in your other cargo pant pocket. You might need to take your belt with you, but you throw an antenna, small backpack, you're off, man. You're gone. I would check Julian's channel, and he's tested it and beaten it up, and he's going to tell you the truth about it. But if you win that radio, it's a really cool little radio. And then the NFED, LDG, always you think about LDG, they are everywhere you look. Everybody has one or two of those. And but they said, Christian, this little radio, it's got its own tuner in it, and it's good tuner. I'm saying that. I don't know if they're saying that. I don't know if they've bench tested this thing at all, but it has a tuner in it, and I think it does well. So they were like, let's give away the NFED. Many people don't realize LDG. They're another company that you don't really see them out at Hamfest. They're creating new products. They're generating new products. And they've got the Balans, the Unins, and this NFED long wire antenna kit. They said, put that in there. We're almost at a full station. Get a bit of coax, got the coax, and there you go. Let's see with Tony. What are you saying, Tony? Lithium batteries with more than 100 watt hours may be allowed in carry-on bags with airline approval, FAA regulations on batteries. That's an interesting conversation and topic. Thank you for that, Tony. Yeah, you do have, I think it is 9 amp hours, but don't quote me on that. I'm going to say that. I think that that's true. What happens for me when I travel, I get sketched out. And I get sketched out because it's an expensive battery. And if they confiscate it, I feel like I'm out. It's like a pocket knife. I don't want to lose a pocket knife either. So I'm thinking about, and I think it's different between airlines. Let's see what Julian says. You can take them on a plane solo travel. Oh, yes. Okay. He's talking. There's a top limit of about 120 watts and carry on only, though. Yeah, I think the trick is you can check your batteries on the planes. Again, I get sketched out. I have a friend of mine who does extensive travel. He would send his gear to the next destination, like in the post, or a couple stops ahead, because he travels the country, travels the world, in fact. And he's always a good one for me to talk to about those sorts of things. But I like the lithium batteries, the weight of it. It's money. If you participate for nothing else, the battery, the solar, I mean, you just can't beat it. You just can't beat it. Any other questions about that? I think you should plan. You can start Thursday, 7 o'clock Central Time, and run until Sunday at 7 o'clock. I'm going to bring this guy up here while we're talking. Doesn't sound like much. Yeah, he's calling.
Kilowatt 8 Delta Foxtrot.
7225. A little bummed out about my camera situation on the phone, but I'll sort that out. I'm just getting a little feedback. Oh, little check. Nothing like having a little check over. That. There you go. See, this is the thing. When you're a low-powered station out there in the field, especially like on field day, people don't hear you. They're just gonna press over you, and these sort of operating events came up out of that. All right. Well, we're creeping up on 12 o'clock, guys. Thank you all for coming over. Julian in Norway, that's hard to believe you're up. What time is it there for you? It's noon here, Central Time. And I would guess you're later into your afternoon, if not around dinner time for you. But thanks for coming by. Share this out with your friends. For the folks who are used to listening to the audio podcast, it's slower. That's why I expect, people listen whenever they can to the audio podcast. So letting them know that we're doing a YouTube channel, it's a little slower infusion. You kind of roll these things out over audio. And with live streaming, it's immediate. It'll be there for us in our places, like Facebook, where we have a nice size community there. And, just getting people to come and make that change to come over. Let's see what Patrick says here. Patrick says, I'm very aware of the limits, but when you're going on a week-long trip, 100 watt hours just won't do it. The bank I have is a goal 0, and I went through all sorts of legwork with Southwest beforehand. I believe it. I hear things from different people, and then I get confused, and I end up leaving it home. That's what happens for me. All right, it's evening in Europe. Thank you, Edwin. Let's see if we have any other questions. I hope I didn't miss anybody here. It's a really cool format, and I want to have Julian join me one afternoon or evening to talk about some of his portable work, because I admire his work because he's out there doing it. He's not unboxing something and telling you, well, this was inside, and the pen, this came with it. He's actually, he's out there beating the snot out of the gear and tells you about it. And if it doesn't hold up, he tells you the truth. So I appreciate that. What else do I want to let you know? The point system, we talked about that. General contacts during the fallout. 1 point per radio contact, 2 per 100 watt ID. It's worth asking when you make a contact. Oh, yeah. Did I talk about this? CQ Fallout. This is what I would say. CQ Fallout. This is Kilo 0, Sierra Tango Hotel Christian in Missouri for the 100 watts and wire Fallout. That's what I would say. People call back. They may be curious. They may know what's happening. They may not. And you just say you're part of an activity. It's a community. However you want to do that, however you want to explain what it is. But let them know and say, do you have a 100 watt ID? If you've had to explain it to them, they probably don't have one. It's not mandatory. It's not mandatory for you to get one. It's not mandatory for them to have one. It's just a thing we share. We share it on the nets. We share it at activity days. And it's worth 2 points during our activities. Also, if you work a bonus station, which it sounds like we're going to pull Julian into this because he's out all the time. But if you work him, I should make it worth more points. But I want you to get to 25. If you can't make 25 contact points during a couple of day period event, let somebody else who's out there kind of grinding it out get the opportunity to win a complete, low power HF station. Okay, so do that. And again, we'll add Julian to the list. Very kind of him to participate there. What else am I missing here? They're talking about lithium batteries. This is great conversation. That's what community is all about. Okay. Oh, you're in Finland. Man, no wonder I didn't find. I flew all the way to Norway to go see Brother Julian. He was in Finland. He's in Finland. Look at this. Got to show it. My mistake. Oops. What's wrong here? Oh, I'm pushing too many buttons. This is the difference between. There he is. He's in Finland. I want to say Norway. I mean, it's a good place to visit. Got to be a good place to visit. Okay, where were we? We talked about some of the prizes a little bit earlier. Go to 100wattsandawire.com and to learn more, click on the operating events tab. It'll take you there October the 9th through the 11th. And inside, outside, any band, all mode, anytime, whenever you want to. The random drawing. At the bottom of that page, you'll find the form to complete. It's pretty simple. Just give me your name and your address. Your address is going to go directly to the supplier, the sponsor, who will be sending out the prize should you win it. I don't keep your information, and I don't share your information. I am big on privacy myself. I'm going to do this again. Boop. Yeah, look at this. I just like it. Don't you do it. Go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and do it now while you're here. We don't have a ton of folks in real time. This is pretty spontaneous. I'll come back to the studio here. What I'll work on here, my takeaways, my work on is making sure the audio is cut off on my phone, which was serving as my second camera for the rig. There's the rig cam. And I wanted to go in. The audio is there. I'm going to go out and set up and work this guy. He's in Virginia. Again, I don't keep your information. Give us your call sign. If you are pulled from the drawing, I will give your email and your mailing information to the folks who will send you your gift. All right. Well, thank you all so much. I appreciate you. We got another comment before we go. Anybody else want to drop a comment in here? Okay. Patrick just wants to know where Julian is in Finland. I'm not going to talk about where he is. I thought I was going to send you to Norway to talk to him, but the best way to get a hold of Julian, pardon me, is a YouTube channel, a very popular YouTube channel, and he's doing something completely different than what other people are doing. Okay, we'll leave it there for now. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. I'm really thinking about coming back tomorrow to do this, at least around 7 o'clock Central Time. To kick off the 100 Watts in a Wire Sunday evening net. You're welcome to join us there. Everybody's welcome. You don't have to run 100 watts, 5 watts, peanut whistle, or 1,500 watts. Everybody's welcome. You don't even have to have a wire antenna. You can have lots of aluminum up there. All my stuff is in wires and trees, except for what I'm going to go put up now. If you're near a radio, perhaps in about an hour, I'll work you. From outside. I'll go out in the field. We'll take a little drive and we'll set up something out there. It's so nice. I love this time of year. Okay. So take care of yourselves and take care of each other. And by all means, if you can, please try and stay above the noise.
Join the 100 Watts in a Wire community. Visit 100wattsandawire.com.